All right, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today we are gonna continue learning about TOML. Um, I didn't really explore TOML a whole lot after yesterday's stream, and so we're gonna continue doing that today, and hopefully in today's stream. Unfortunately, I started the stream a little later than I was meaning to. I also wasn't able to get a vlog in. I missed the opportunity to vlog today. I had the chance to vlog, but then I got busy doing something and, well, the time just got away from me. Before we begin, happy Pride Month, everyone. It is currently the 1st of June where I live. So yeah, happy Pride Month. Okay, now we are. What did I do after yesterday's stream? I was doing a bunch of research. I was discussing stuff with Gemini as well. I can't remember exactly what. I mean, there were a bunch of different conversations that I was having. I can't seem to remember exactly what they were surrounding because I did close a bunch of the conversations that I felt like I was done with. But yeah, okay. So, yesterday I was looking into LSP info, right? This gives us info about the various LSP clients that we have active and installed and stuff like that, right? I was trying to look for information about which LSP client might be currently, for lack of a better term, doing things in the currently open buffer. So currently, the buffer that I have open is the buffer of a Rust code file. So it's a .rs file. If I switch over to this file, this is a TOML file. So this buffer currently has a TOML file loaded. So I wanted to see if there was a way if there was a way for me to figure out, what is. I was just trying to get some information about which tools might be, doing things with the buffer that's currently active. I don't even know what things I was looking for specifically. Just I wanted to know if there's a way to see if there's a way to not see if there are tools that are currently affecting the buffer. I know that there are tools currently affecting the buffer, and I wanted to get an idea of which tools they were. So in the case of this main.rs file, so I found out that there's um, I don't know exactly what to call this, but according to Gemini, it's part of conform nvim or nvim conform or something like that. It's conform.nvim. Let me actually hold on. Let's open up lazy, and here I want to see if I can find. Oh yeah, I have conform, and conform is currently enabled. I did not enable this myself, so this must have been enabled along with one of the lazy extras that I enabled. Um, let's see if I'm able to get that information. Here, where does conform show up? Conform. Enable languages. Okay, so it's under uh, .NET. It might be under Rust as well, right? It's not showing up under Rust though, which is interesting. Where else does it show up? Here and here and here. Okay, that's interesting. It does work though. So I have conform enabled. I have conform enabled. I also have conform installed and running, but it's not showing up under this. under Rust, which is interesting because I believe when I do conform info, it's this stuff that I'm seeing is because of wait, what is this? TikTok underscore bash dot sh. I don't remember making a file like this. Hold on. TikTok underscore bash dot sh. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm just looking this up. Yeah, that's interesting. This seems to be. Oh God. Okay, this is from. Holy shit! This is from 2025. I just looked at the. Why do I have log files from back then? Holy shit! This is displaying log files from like way back then. Okay. Okay. Anyways, um, this is one of the bits of information that I was looking for. So in this case, it shows us that the Rust analyzer is apparently being used for, aside from its usual LSP, capabilities, it's also being used as a formatter, which is interesting because I thought it might be using Clippy for formatting. But yeah, this is some of the information that you can get from Conform. If I switch to this and now do conform info, now you can see the LSP shown here is Tableau. And if I open up, I don't know, Python maybe, there'll probably be some other formatter being shown. So that was interesting for me to find out, for me to learn about. But yeah, yeah. Um, I guess I can't remember what all I was discussing with Gemini yesterday. Oh, something that I did do, and I did this on Linux. So on this same machine that I'm streaming from, on the same laptop that I'm streaming from, I'm currently on Windows here, right? But I also a couple of months ago, maybe, installed Ubuntu on this same laptop, and I've slowly been moving my entire like workflow over to that side. And sorry, give me a second. Yeah, I'm slowly moving my workflow over to that side. I haven't moved the OBS streaming over to that side though, but a lot of the other stuff. I mean, to be honest, on this laptop, s- mainly what I was doing was streaming up until I installed Ubuntu on this laptop, and then I started using the terminal, and I could SSH into my other machine, and then start using um, tmux to do various things on the other machine. So then I started to get more utility out of the machine. Okay, additionally, what I did is I installed Steam there because I have Steam installed on the Windows side as well. So I was like, since I am moving stuff over to that side, let's also install Steam. I installed Steam. There was a whole process to set up there, which admittedly um, it wasn't really a complicated process at all. It was actually relatively smooth, smoother than what I was expecting it to be. And yeah, yeah. The first game that I decided to try was Stardew Valley. Unfortunately, that didn't really go very smoothly because there was some sort of resolution related issue. The stuff was showing up way too small, and I had to look online to get information from people about how to fix this. And in between all that, I just kind of got bored and didn't look into it anymore. Yesterday, I was going through my Steam library, and because I wanted to look for some games to play, I was like, let me play some games because I haven't played a game in a while. Um, and I finally landed on Metro 2033. And yeah, I'm gonna be installing that today after today's stream, and hopefully I can play that game. I'm gonna be playing it on the Xbox controller, not using keyboard and mouse. Usually, I like to play FPS games, or back in the day when I used to play FPS games, I preferred playing them using keyboard and mouse. And in general, when you're playing FPS games, specifically the ones that require, precision when shooting, or ones that require very quick reflexes when again shooting, um, you're better off using keyboard and mouse, because if you need precision and quick timing when during shooting, then you won't really be able to get that with a controller, at least in my opinion. Having played FPS games for a good chunk of my teen years, um, actually even since childhood, like I played a mix of games, and FPS games were definitely one of the genres that I played, and I'm used to keyboard and mouse, but I want my keyboard to last as long as possible. And so that's why I don't, well, I want my keyboard and mouse to last as long as possible. And that's why I don't want to play games using the mouse or the keyboard. I would much rather use a gaming controller to play those games. As it is, I use my keyboard specifically a lot. I don't use the mouse nearly as much because I have a terminal-based workflow. But also because I have a terminal-based workflow, I use the keyboard a lot. I use the keyboard so much that the mouse goes to sleep. I use wireless keyboard and mice because I have multiple of those. Um, I use wireless keyboard and mice, and usually with wireless mice, they have this thing. I don't know if wireless keyboards have it as well, but wireless mice definitely have it. Um, if you don't use them for a while, then they just go to sleep. It's a power saving feature, so it's not draining battery, which is great. It's awesome. And yeah, that like I use the keyboard so much that I kind of keep the mouse to the side for a long time, long enough that the thing just goes to sleep, and then I have to wake it up if I need to use the mouse. But yeah, that's all to say that I would like my keyboard to last as long as possible, and I kind of feel like if I'm playing games, I might ruin the keys much quicker than I would like to. I could be wrong about that though. I should talk to Gemini about that, because this is a belief I've had from, and it's not even just a belief. Like I've seen this in the past, like when I used to play games, I've seen this. It's not like keyboard and mice are very fragile, but when you use them long enough, when you when you have like constant use of them over and over, they will wear out eventually, right? I would like for this keyboard and mouse to last as long as possible. The keyboard, I've been hammering away at it because, again, terminal-based workflow. So I've been hammering away at it for a while. This is one of my favorite keyboards ever, like ever. This is one of the favorite keyboards of mine. Um, In fact, when this keyboard goes bad, I hope it doesn't go bad for at least another year. But when this goes bad, I'm going to have to try and order this exact same keyboard, or maybe from the same company, off of Amazon or eBay or whatever. I think it's Amazon. Yeah, I think it was bought from Amazon. This is a great keyboard and mouse. Like this, Okay, anyways, enough complimenting my own hardware. But yeah, I don't want to use the keyboard and mouse for gaming. I would much rather use the controller. Another reason is that I kind of want to get used to using the controller for gaming. Um, there's something I like about using the controller for gaming, as opposed to keyboard and mouse. And I looked into it. First of all, I Googled it, um, to see, what other people who have played Metro over the years, what they had to say on platforms like Reddit and the Steam community, whatever their forum is called. I wanted to see what people are saying. Additionally, I asked Gemini because Gemini has probably also seen other people's, opinions about this. And so Gemini can then, and well, Gemini also knows about what the game mechanics are like. And so Gemini said that, yeah, you can, if you're just casually playing the game, then, the controller is great. If it's like a sit back and relax kind of thing, if it's a casual kind of thing, sorry, zoned out. If it's a casual kind of thing, then you can use a keyboard. No, sorry, you can use the controller. But if you're going for one of the more like hardcore difficulty levels where there's going to be quick reaction times and quick aiming and very intense combat kind of thing, then you probably want to use keyboard and mouse because your reaction time matters there. And another thing that Gemini told me, I'm kind of glad that Gemini mentioned this to me, was that because I was looking into, so I bought Metro 2033 and Metro something about a light. I think Last Light. I don't remember. Let me look that up. Hold on. Metro Last Metro Last Light Redux. So I bought Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux, and I didn't know what Redux meant. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing Redux right. But so that's why I asked Gemini, which one of these should I be playing first? I wasn't sure what the Redux is for, but I mainly wanted to know which one of these I should play first. It turns out Metro 2033 came before Metro Last Light, so I need to play 2033 first, and then Last Light kind of it follows along as like a sequel kind of thing. The Redux part of it is basically saying that these are remade versions of the game. I don't know what the right term is. Um, Remastered, that's the right term. These are remastered versions of these games. Basically, they were rebuilt from the ground up using a newer engine. So they have various new graphics qualities, various different aesthetics, not wildly different, but they have better aesthetic quality. And also, there was one more thing. Oh, optimization. There would be, because it's a newer engine than what they were built in before, there would be better optimization options, and probably a bunch of other things as well. So what I bought was uh, in both of their cases, what I bought was the Redux versions. Um, oh yeah. So what Gemini was saying was that in Metro, I don't remember if this applies to both or only one. I believe at the very least it applies to Metro 2033. Um, sorry, zoned out. Okay, at the very least it applies to Metro 2033. Gemini was saying that you can go around killing the enemies. However, there is a thing within the game where if you decide to not kill enemies and just like, I don't know, stun them or knock them out and steal their stuff, or just take the non killing route, then you achieve something called moral points, and you can use that for something later on in the game or at the end of the game or something like that. There is basically there's a pacifist route, I guess you can take. I don't know if that's the accurate term to use here, but yeah, there is a pacifist route that you can take, a peaceful route that you can take. How peaceful that is, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to find out. I did play this game in the past, and I believe it was 2033 that I'd started playing. I didn't get too far into it. I played maybe like 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes of it. And I meant to come back to it, but I just never came back to it because I have this thing where, I'll play games and I don't really commit to them. So if it's like a very long game, I'm most likely, unless it's able to really grab my attention, I'm most likely not gonna be spending way too much time with it. That's kind of why I like the smaller games, which I can, just get some enjoyment out of real quick and then, you know, get back to what I was doing. Because this the same thing happened with me. Like, um, it's happened with me with a bunch of different games. This is one of the reasons why I never actually finished Lego Hobbit, because twice I've now, you know, uh, played the game and then stopped midway and then restarted the game and then stopped midway. And the reason I restarted was because, I came back to it like maybe a year or two later, and I didn't remember much about what was going on. I didn't have too much context, so I needed to relearn everything. That's why I restarted from the beginning. Nice game though. It's a nice game. Um, Dude, I hate the fact that some of these games have like this double launcher bullshit going on. It's so annoying. Like, dude, I remember back in the day, I played two Ubisoft games. One was Child of Light. Holy shit. Amazing game. Like, dude, amazing game. Uh, the art style, all of the artwork, the entire game is like hand painted. It's crazy. The aesthetic of that game is wow. The aesthetic, the music, the gameplay, the stories, the writing, let's say, just amazing game overall. That was one of the games that I played, Child of Light. Another game was Far Cry 3. That's also another amazing game. I loved that game a lot. Something I found incredibly annoying is that even if you buy these games off of Steam, you then have to launch them using Ubisoft's launcher, which back then it was called Uplay. Now, from what I understand, it's called Ubisoft Connect or just Connect, something Connect. Um, I found that incredibly annoying. I didn't like that, so I kind of just stopped playing Ubisoft games. It's not like I play too many games these days, anyways. It's not like I buy too many games anyways, but like if I'm buying games, I kind of steer clear of Ubisoft stuff. Um, why was I talking about this? I forgot. I remember I was talking about like how I'm not able to dedicate too much time to a game. The last time I dedicated too much time to a game was No Man's Sky, and I was like, holy shit, I was absorbed into that game. I was sucked into that game big time. Like big time. Though it's worth mentioning, if I did pick that back up now, at this point in time, I feel like I would be able to play the game better. Because here's the thing, right? My issue back then was that I would always like, okay, I would play the game, but then I would always end up going back to my work and research and coding and learning things and all of that stuff. That's the issue that I usually ran into, and it's not even really an issue. It's a good thing. It makes it so like I'm usually always learning something or building something or stuff like that. And it also makes it so all of this coding stuff that I do, it's kind of also a recreational activity for me. So that's kind of why I don't necessarily even play games, because I'm already, kind of getting my recreation here. Um, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So one issue that I would run into is that uh, whenever I would start a game, I would eventually end up just stopping it and going back to, or gradually going back to, my work and research, and eventually the game would just get pushed to the side and I'll just never start the game up again. That happened with No Man's Sky as well. That happened with a couple of other games that I played, and it took me a while to understand that this stuff that I'm doing, all the learning and building and stuff, it's also a recreational activity for me. And that's kind of why I don't really feel the need to, you know, go towards games. I'm already enjoying doing what I'm doing, which is great. I mean, I'm not complaining. That's amazing for me. But yeah, yeah. I forgot where I forgot what all we were talking about because we branched out so much. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be trying out. I'm gonna be trying out. Dude, I wonder if No Man's Sky has decent, what do you call it? Decent Xbox controller support. Give me a second. No Man's Sky Xbox controller support. The game itself does not support joysticks or any other controller other than console gamepads. This tutorial is no, okay. I think this might be an older thing. I think it might be an older thing. I'm not sure. Wait, no more controller support. Can't get my Xbox Elite 2 controller, nor PS5 controller working with No Man's Sky anymore. If I restart so and so, so and so, game is not recognizing Xbox controller. I'm gonna have to look into this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this. But yeah, I wanna get back to a little bit of gaming here and there. I don't think I can buy. Well, I know for sure I can't buy the newer games, even games made in the last decade. I usually, if I'm going to be buying them, I make sure it's not a 3D game, because I know for sure that I'm gonna have performance issues. My hardware isn't that high end. Even the GPU that I plan on using, it's an NVIDIA GPU, but that's about it. That's in terms of performance, it's one of the lower end GPUs. So maybe it'll perform better than the iGPU that's bundled with the processor, but even that may or may not be true. I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I'm playing Metro, because I can, on Ubuntu, when you are launching applications via the terminal, you can specify environmental variables. You can specify flags, essentially, to pass into the application when you launch it. And depending on the flags that you specify, you can change some of the behavior. So there are flags that you can specify to make sure that the game is using your NVIDIA GPU, or whatever application you're launching is using your NVIDIA GPU instead of your Intel GPU. Okay, you know what? We've been yapping for a good, like, well, now in the next, I don't know, 5 seconds, it's gonna be half an hour. So we've been yapping for a good half an hour. I guess let's get into TOML. So yesterday we were learning about TOML, and um, give me a second. Let me get back to um, hold on. Where's that conversation gone? Is the conversation just missing now? Oh shit, we're dropping frames. Well, we are dropping frames, but I can't really do anything about that. I guess we can just wait until, you know, where did that conversation go, dude? Hold on. I'm still looking. Still looking. Yeah, I don't know where the conversation disappeared off to. So, fortunately, Gemini does save like the older conversations, so I can search for it. So give me a second. What Tamil? Learning Tamil for Rust developers. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. Okay, all right. So we are continuing with Tamil. Yesterday I stopped at tables. Also, today I opened up the Tamil website. I didn't even know that there was a Tamil website. I was expecting that there would be some kind of website for it. This is a nice looking website as well. Um, and here's basically this is all of Tamil. I'm curious about something though. I had a couple of questions regarding tables. First, we're gonna explore the concept of tables. Was that covered here? Did they touch on tables? I remember seeing. Hold on. Where's okay? It's here, but what about here? Okay, tables is mentioned here. Key value pairs. Okay, okay. Comments, numbers, powerful strings. Okay, all right. Multi-line strings, literal strings, uh, dates and times. I guess let's read the full spec. Okay. Oh, do they have like, oh, it's all one long page. Okay, okay. All right. Great. Awesome. So we already passed the string and integer, float, boolean, date, time. We can look into like the specifics of all of that later on. We have arrays here. I guess we can continue reading from here, and then I don't need to continue reading the Gemini conversation. Okay, array. Arrays are ordered values surrounded by square brackets. White spaces are ignored. Elements are separated by commas. Arrays can contain values of the same data type as allowed in key value pairs. Values of different types may be mixed. Oh, that's important because I had that question yesterday. Um, whether arrays of different types or array values of different types can be mixed together. And it's a good thing that you're able to mix it together here. I guess this might be a bit complicated. Uh, okay. and then true. Yeah, okay. Mismatch types. So vec does not accept multiple types. Let me try asking Gemini. What is? Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Are we are we good? Are we like dropping frames big time? Yeah, we seem to be dropping frames big time, dude. Hold up. There is something that I might be able to do to mitigate this issue. I'm just gonna hold on, wait for the connection to stabilize. Oh damn, dude. The speed is just not coming back up. That's crazy. Okay, all right. It's slowly coming back up, but it's going back down as well. What am I missing here? I'm really not sure what I'm missing that could be taking up a whole lot of. Okay, okay. The connection is stabilizing a little bit. I think we are good. Yeah, we are good. Okay. I guess, yeah, we can now continue. Now, what was I saying before the internet just decided to not. Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask Gemini something. So give me a second. Here. Hey, I do Rust and Python coding. Wait, I just remembered that I'm trying to open up something here that might put a load on the connection. Okay, yeah. Um, in Python, lists can have multiple types. What's the Rust equivalent of that? Coming from Python, Rust's strict typing, holy shit, um, can feel can feel like a bit of a reality check. In Python, a list is just a collection of pointers, so it happily mixes integers, strings, and floats. In Rust, a vec must have a single uniform type T because Rust needs to know exactly how much memory to allocate for each element at compile time. Okay. However, you can absolutely achieve Python-like mixed lists in Rust. Depending on your use case, there are three main ways to do it. The right way, enums. Okay, how would that work? Oh, then you do a vec of enums. Okay, all right. I like that. Okay. Um, then we have the object-oriented way, which would be if you don't know all the types in advance, but you know that you will need to do this, that they all need to do the same thing, like a print or draw method, you can use a trait object and then box dyn. Okay, that goes into smart pointers, and the dyn thing is dynamic dispatch. I haven't covered that yet. I have looked into it. Dynamic dispatch is one of those things that you use when you don't know the concrete type of you don't know the concrete type that's going to be used, because the compiler needs to know the concrete type at compile time. It needs to know the type. I'm not going to say concrete type, but it needs to know the type at compile time. There might be situations where you don't know the type, and so that's why you use dyn. There, the type is determined at runtime. Um, and then the true Python way is box dyn any for anything. That's interesting. Okay, what they're suggesting here is, let me just copy paste the entire thing, because this is interesting. It's a very complex way of doing things, because what they're doing is they're creating a vec, and the vec needs a type, right? So they're creating a vec of type box. Box is a smart pointer, if I remember right. I believe so. Yeah, box is a smart pointer. And within box also you have to give it a type. Box has to be given, like, it has to be a box of so and so type. Instead of the type, you write dyn any, um, and then within the vec, when you're initializing the values, or when you're initializing the vec and giving it all the values, you can then specify, box new integer, or box new string, or box new whatever, so that way you can have a vec that has multiple different values. But yeah, okay, okay. Now, going back to this. Where was I? Okay. Arrays are ordered values surrounded by square brackets. White space is ignored. Elements are separated by commas. Arrays can contain values of the same data types as allowed in key values. So and so values of different types may be mixed. And also you can have nested arrays. Uh, I'm glad that they gave that example here as well. Okay, arrays can span multiple lines. Okay, yeah, we covered that as well. Though the formatter in my case doesn't respect that. The formatter in my case, it squashes the array once you wait. What did I just do? Oh, let's delete this and come here. Arrays, like for example, here I have one, and oh, I have one, two, and three. And if I do this and this, it squashes the thing. So I need to look into how I could get it to stop doing that. That being said, I don't really have, like, it's not that big of an issue right now. I do know that with these formatters, usually when they squash things, they have like a limit as to, how many characters after squashing, how many characters within one line, this entire line is going to occupy. Um, and if the total number of characters within one line exceeds a certain threshold, then the formatter automatically splits it up into multiple lines. Actually, I could test that out here, right? Let's I don't know. Let's do this and let's see what it does. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it squashed it. It didn't. No, it expanded it. It didn't squash it. It expanded the thing. Okay. All right. What's next? Table. I was actually curious about this because I was wondering if there's a way to um, access different values. Like, sorry, if there's a way to reference a table which you've already created to store a value in another thing. Like, for example, okay, let's read this, and once we start doing the thing practically, then I'll demonstrate what I'm asking about. And I can also ask Gemini. Let me just prepare the convo. Actually, okay, that's fine. Table. Tables, also known as hash tables or dictionaries, are collections of key value pairs. They are defined by headers with square brackets on a line by themselves. You can tell headers apart from arrays because arrays are only ever values. Yep, okay. Tables are only ever names. And then below them, you have actually below them also, you don't have the values. You have their members, and each member has a name and a value. Each member has like a key value, key value pair. Oh, sorry. Sorry, zoned out. Okay. Um, under that and until the next header or end of file are the key value pairs of that table. Key value pairs within tables are not guaranteed to be in a specific order. That's interesting. That is interesting, and that is good to know as well, that it's not guaranteed to be in a specific order. I feel like that's something I should take into account. In general, if I'm reading something off of if I'm like um deserializing data, I wouldn't necessarily be expecting. That's not true. That's not true. No, that's not true. I was about to say that in general, if I'm reading data, if I'm like deserializing data, I wouldn't necessarily be doing index based stuff. I wouldn't necessarily be expecting a specific order. That's not entirely true though. I granted I haven't necessarily. That's not true either. Nope. I'm just contradicting myself. So the first not true is because there's definitely situations like binary values or byte. No, what do you even call like a whole packet of bytes that's arranged in a very specific way, and then you index the thing. But to be fair, there you are not you're indexing the bytes. You're not like you have indices and offsets there. You're not accessing a collection. You're not accessing the member. Actually, okay, hold on. There's another thing to keep in mind here. I feel like these are gonna expand to hash tables or dictionaries, right? Okay, if we are talking about in Rust, the Rust equivalent of a dictionary is a hash table. These are gonna expand or these are gonna deserialize to hash tables, right? Essentially dictionaries. Um, where was I going with this? Yeah, there with dictionaries, you don't necessarily always, or most of the time, you don't really index dictionaries. The whole idea behind dictionaries is that they're key value pairs, and so you access the value by indexing via the key. The key is the index. You don't use an integer based index. So yeah, then this is not going to be an issue. The second that's not true that I was saying was because I was about to give an example of JSON, but then I was like, okay, maybe in JSON as well there's been, but no, now that I think about it, no, that is true. Actually, in JSON, I've never, at least to my knowledge, I've never had to worry about the index of this kind of a thing. Because like this kind of a thing would, like the JSON equivalent of this would be a dictionary. And again, with a dictionary, it's not it's not an integer based index. You are accessing the value using the key because it's a key value pair, right? Okay, all right. Good to know though that um, the pairs within tables are not guaranteed to be in a specific order. Naming rules for tables are the same as for keys. See the definition of keys above. Naming rules. Okay, this is something that I didn't look into. Okay, a key may be either bare, quoted, or dotted. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that we can have I didn't know that I could do something like this and that works. That's good to know. That is definitely good to know. Okay, a key may be either bare, quoted, or dotted. Bare keys may only contain ASCII letters, ASCII digits, underscores, and dashes. Note that bare keys are allowed to be composed of only ASCII digits, but are always interpreted as strings. Okay, all right. Quoted keys follow the exact same rules as either basic strings or literal strings and allow you to use a much broader set of names, a much broader set of key names. Best practice is to use bare keys except when absolutely necessary. Okay. A bare key must be non-empty, but an empty quoted key is allowed, though discouraged. Oh, non-empty as in, uh, wait, a bare key must be non-empty. I took that to mean that the key, the key is missing. I took that to mean that the value is missing. No, they mean that the key over here must be specified. Yeah, I just remembered we are looking at the entire spec of of this language. All right, dotted keys are a sequence of bare or quoted keys joined with a dot. This allows for grouping similar properties together. I need to look into this. How this um oh, this basically then becomes a dictionary, right? Physical, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about this. It's great that they've given the JSON equivalent of it, so now I actually understand the thing. Um but yeah, this is good to know. For details regarding the tables that dotted keys define, refer to the table section. Yeah, we just came from the table section, so we're going to go back there. And yeah, they follow the same rules. Okay, naming rules for tables are the same as for keys. See definition of keys above. Um, okay, so then this would be, so dog would be the dictionary. Um, tater dot man. Oh, then within dog, there's a dictionary called Tater, and then man is a field of the dictionary. But then in here, there's type.name. No, okay, this is confusing. No, 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 this is confusing. Yeah, because I got the thing wrong here. Looking at the JSON equivalent of this, I've gotten the thing wrong. So I got the dog part right. I got the tater man part wrong because, okay, dot along with, um, dot along. So if we are using a dot with double quotes, then it's not a dictionary. So then it's not like tater is a dictionary and man is a field. It's just tater man. That's one thing. Tater dot man is one thing. If we come back here, let's read more about the dot thing. I mean, in general, I don't think I'm going to be encountering that a whole lot. That very weird way of writing it. Like literally what they've written is dog dot tater dot man, right? And in there we have, I don't remember what it was. Let's say name equals, I don't know, Tyler. Yeah. So my assumption there was that dog is the root dictionary, and then tater is going to be a dictionary within dog, and then man is going to be a field of that dictionary, but then man might also be a dictionary because then we have name under that. That's how I was like interpreting the entire thing. Um, but it turns out tater.man is one. I need to ask Gemini about this. Hold on. Let me do Control C. Um, okay, okay. Yank. Hey, I'm learning TOML. Help me understand. Okay, I'm learning TOML. Um, yeah, okay. Help me understand um, why in the following code, tater and man are not two separate, no, are not two dictionaries nested um, within each other. Okay, it's a super common trip up when starting out with TOML. It looks like it should be nested because of the dot, but the short answer is the quotation marks change the rules. Okay, it's what I thought. So with the quotes, it takes it as like literally whatever name you give it. Okay, in TOML, whenever you wrap a key in quotes like tater.man, you are telling the parser treat everything inside these quotes as a single literal string, dots and all. Okay, here's a breakdown of what is actually happening and how to fix it. Okay, wait. Now let me try something here and see if it accepts it. It accepts it. So what I'm assuming is gonna happen here is that it's gonna be dog. Um, I forgot JSON syntax. Hold on. Let me look at something here. Okay. Um, yeah, what I'm assuming it's gonna be dog, and I think dog here is gonna be like this. And then tater, and then man, and then what was the thing? Name. Name Tyler. So that's what I was assuming it's gonna be. And Well, yeah, now that I've removed the quotations, I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, this is throwing an error because I'm typing JSON in a TOML document. Okay, all right. Dude, I just paid attention to the time. Shit, dude, holy shit. I could have done a vlog today. I wanted to vlog the fact that I've got my, GitHub workflow set up, but yeah, yeah. Um, I guess tomorrow I'll also think about like the extra stuff that, oh, maybe I can also talk about TOML if I finish learning TOML before tomorrow's vlog. Actually, I think I'll continue learning this off stream. I'll also oh, I wonder if someone has written a parser that's going to parse the data that I'm. Let me ask that question, dude. Hey, has anyone written an online parser where I can, no, an online TOML parser where I can type in TOML code and have it be um, shown as some form of data or Python or Rust. Yes, there are definitely tools for this because TOML maps perfectly to standardized data structures. You have a few excellent options depending on exactly how you want to view or use the output. The quickest way is TOML to JSON converters. Since Python dictionaries, Rust structs, and basic JSON share virtually identical structural logic, converting TOML to JSON online is usually the easiest way to visualize your data instantly. So there's dev tools, okay, there's convert simple, okay. To get actual Python or Rust code, you aren't just looking. Actually, I could write some quick oh wait, that's not gonna work because I am gonna have to find a way to let me see what it looks like if I like when I'm trying to parse some um some TOML data because I'm pretty sure I have to make the structs beforehand. It's not like in Python where I can just, it's not very dynamic. At least from what I remember. I'm gonna have to look into it. But yeah. I guess that's gonna be it for today's stream. I don't think I'm gonna be raiding anyone. I'm just gonna, you know, get back to doing this and make as much progress as I can before tomorrow's vlog and subsequent stream. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. So that's going to be it for today's stream. I hope you guys have